very warm welcome to each of you to this special seminar for today, where we will be talking all about the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, or WCIC Prathibhabhisheka Women Entrepreneur Awards 2022, powered by DFCC Aloka. My name is Trishma Pinto. It's my pleasure to be your host for this webinar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as all of you logged in are already aware, the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, or WCIC, recently announced the Women Entrepreneur Awards 2022 to recognize outstanding women entrepreneurs of Sri Lanka as well as in the SAARC region. These awards will recognize our brilliant women entrepreneurs and grow their business. And we look forward to honoring these exceptional entrepreneurs for their contribution and impact on our economy. Now, the award ceremony will be held in January 2023, just a few months away. And today is an invitation to all those incredible women entrepreneurs out there, you who are watching us right now, as well as your sisters, mothers, daughters, wives, friends, colleagues. Come, share with us your story of excellence, your journey of success, and we will be delighted to acknowledge and appreciate all of our deserving candidates with the glory and the felicitation that they rightly deserve. Now, as our webinar unfolds this evening, we will be happy to share with you more details on how exactly you can apply to the awards and what categories are in store for you. So stay tuned till the very end of this webinar for all of that information. Before we get started, let me, of course, acknowledge our various speakers who are joining us on board the webinar this evening. We have with us joining, we also have with us the Chairperson of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Anoji De Silva. We have the awards co-chair, Tusita Kumarakulasingam, the founder, managing director of Salon Nayana. We have Nayana Karunaratna also joining us. And then we also have with us Director DFCC Bank and Senior Partner, Capital City Law, Shamali Gunawardana joining us as well. So we welcome all of our speakers on board the webinar this evening. As we begin our proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to introduce to you the Prathibhabhisheka Women Entrepreneur Awards 2022. The platinum sponsor is DFCC Aloka. Financial and non-financial solution designed to empower females across Sri Lanka to achieve their career goals, their business ambitions, and DFCC extends its commitment to encouraging female entrepreneurship, which, as you all know, is very crucial for the future development and growth of Sri Lanka's economy. Before we move on, let's now take a brief look at this video by our platinum sponsor, DFCC Aloka.
Advising me on strategies for success, like a mentor.
Encouraging me to achieve my aspirations, like a mother.
Inspiring and guiding me, like a trusted friend.
Supporting me every step of the way, like a sister.
Caring for my well-being, like a daughter.
DFCC Aloka is a financial solution designed to empower females across Sri Lanka to achieve their career goals, business ambitions, and personal dreams.
And that was DFCC Aloka, ladies and gentlemen, our platinum sponsor for the WCIC Prathibhabhisheka Women Entrepreneur Awards 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to hear a little bit more about DFCC Aloka and its contribution towards women empowerment. And to now tell us more about the same, it's our pleasure to welcome on screen Vice President, DFCC Bank, Shera Hassan. Shera, it's over to you.
Thank you, Trishma. Good evening, everybody. As Trishma said, we believe in empowering females. We at DFCC Bank, through female propositions, our Aloka proposition, encourage and inspire all females across the island to achieve their career goals, business aspirations, and also their personal goals, by offering financial and non-financial solutions throughout your life cycle, and to see how best we could support you to aspire your goals. I would like to enjoy. We, at our bank, we do not only talk about the solutions on financial, non-financial. We learned how difficult it is, the pain points of females, what are the needs of their aspirations, what kind of support they need. So we do offer these kind of solutions to see how best we could support interest to suit you. And also we look at the well-being of our customers, which we think is very vital with the current situation and what is happening around us. And then we also offer insurance to them. We also do another, we look at the cost of living right now, the income that we have. So we here think of all kind of processing fees, the waivers, the ATM fees, all that is waived off for our female customers through Aloka propositions. Look at, we are not only looking at, okay, waivers, fees, insurance, savings planners. We also look at people who have lost their jobs, homemakers who have become, we do support them, the SME and MSME and the microfinance system is there with us. So through ADB and USAID funding, we offer very special schemes through DFCC Aloka. Preferential rates for business loans, whether you are a startup business or you have achieved towards your career goal and you have become a big business, we are there in every step. Although we talk about the businesses and we talk about the personal aspirations, what about, there are certain lot of people who start up, but they would also need briefing on non-financial support like guidance, mentoring. How do we do that? We do have forums and workshops where you could participate through our web page. Details will be on, in the calendar, and we take you through all the consultation support and business loans to support you with your next level to achieve their career goals. Convenient banking is what we look at. We have 140 branches across the island, and we have the mobile teller. They could come to the doorstep of you and do your collection and then bring back to the bank and ensure that your credits are credited immediately. So banking at convenience make life easy, because as females, we have a lot of work to do at home. We have family commitments, we have other commitments, we have parental commitments, all that is taken care of. As I told you at the beginning, all the pain points were taken consideration when we started this product, and we wanted everything to have a solution. So it's not only for financial, as I said, it's a non-financial solution too. We also thought we will design our cards, the debit card and the credit card, and offer very good benefits through them. We know as females, we are the people who design and think what is essential for the, and we provide discounts and benefit schemes through our Aloka card, through the debit as well as the credit card. There are fee waivers. We do not charge any fee for customers when they do the withdrawals. Not only that, we also feel that considering the cost of living right now and to support the lifestyle, we easy payment scheme for any purchases for you, which is essential for you. So exclusive promotions for Aloka credit card, meaning about the financial, non-financial solutions, and the door-to-door services. We also came across another support the females wanted, the language barrier. Some of them feel that how do I communicate with my bank? How do I tell the banker my requirement is? We do have a 24/7 support through our call center only for Aloka inquiries. And if you want to speak in the language that you prefer, English, Sinhala, or Tamil, you could speak in whatever language you prefer. And our agents and the call center officers are more than happy to support you. More than everything, our branch team across the country, where we have 140 branches, as I said, you could walk into any branch, say what financial assistance you require, even if you're a business person, or if you're a person who's aspiring to go to the next level in your personal career, you could walk in and tell your requirements, and our team is there to support and guide you. And we welcome you at DFCC Aloka. Thank you. I think I have spoken a lot about the features and the product, and we are also not stopping from here. We are looking at a lot of things where we could tie up with other service providers to and also make sure that you benefit from their services. So one of the things the digital support will also come through to all our customers, where you could just dial up through .990, where you could be at your work or home and ask for support. Even if you cannot reach a doctor, you could talk to them in the language that you prefer. A doctor will be available and support you, and we look at your well-being as well. Business opportunities through Aloka clients, products and services is available free of charge. All Aloka customers could log in to our website, and they could also promote their products and services through the branches, and we'll be there to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shera Hassan, for giving us that overview of all of the features and benefits that DFCC Aloka provides, and also for highlighting DFCC Bank's commitment towards women empowerment. We thank DFCC Aloka for coming on board as our platinum sponsor for the WCIC. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to our next speaker. Before I introduce our speaker to you, let me tell you a little bit about WCIC, or the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce. The Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce was established to be a platform to encourage women to be powerful nation builders, enabling women to participate in transforming the economic of women entrepreneurs and professional business women. So on that note, it's now our pleasure to hear from the chairperson of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce as she shares with us her message this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on screen our chairperson, Anoji De Silva.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining this webinar today. It's my absolute pleasure to talk to you today about the WCIC Prathibhabhisheka Women Entrepreneur Awards. And I would also like to thank the DFCC Bank for the platinum sponsor. And like Shera mentioned, I think with a bank that genuinely has the interest of us at hand and is doing work to help women entrepreneurs. So just to tell you a little bit about the Women Entrepreneur Awards, we will take you through a detailed presentation. But the purpose of the Women Entrepreneur Awards is to really identify, honor, and recognize women entrepreneurs, exceptional women entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. Plus also this is considered an award, and that also gives the entrepreneurs a lot of recognition later on when they're trying to scale and grow. This will be an award that will be recognized internationally also. Therefore, it becomes a very valuable award for an entrepreneur who's really on their journey to grow and scale. The Women's Chamber was, we commenced the Women's Chamber in 2005 and is also considered the first women across the world. Plus also we've been having this awards ceremony as way back is in 1988. I think it was considered the first award ceremony for identifying and recognizing women entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. We've relaunched it again after 2 years because we couldn't have it during COVID, because we do feel that we need to meet the women and also interact with them quite an involved process. So we relaunched it and we are very excited for the awards. So it's not just, we'll also join up with you and help you as the Women's Chamber to in your journey to grow and scale your business. So I'm not going to take too much of time because there is a presentation that we would like to do. To give you the logic because of the application process. So thank you very much, and we look forward to engaging with all of you and look forward to your applications. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anuji, for sharing with us these awards of industry and commerce contributes to the strengthening of our own women entrepreneurs. Well, up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for an eagerly awaited segment of our webinar this evening. If you have been wondering what are the details on the award categories, Prathibhabhisheka Awards, well, wonder no further because our next presentation is about to clarify all of that for you. To now give you the full rundown on all of the details regarding the awards, it's our pleasure to welcome up next our awards co-chair. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to your screen, Tusita.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, it is lovely to see all of you here. Obviously, you have been logged in today because you're very interested in finding out how to be a part of this great program. So we are presenting to you WCIC Prathibhabhisheka, the Women Entrepreneur Awards 2022. It is powered by DFCC Aloka. And we have other sponsors who also support this because a program of this magnitude is not possible done with a few people. What you see on screen is our logo. This program is available in all 3 languages, and whichever language you choose, you can submit your application in your preferred. I think we spoke upfront about the main purpose of having this event. It is actually to honor outstanding women entrepreneurs for their tenacity tenacity to grow and to scale during these challenging times. All of us are aware Sri Lanka has been going through a really bad patch for the past almost 4 years business and with all the challenges that have been faced in front of us. We would like to recognize and reward outstanding women entrepreneurs, and would also like to mentor and help entrepreneurs to grow and scale. So this is broadly the main purpose of having a program, and also it is something that WCIC is passionately involved in. Give us a minute for the slides to change. So the good news, I will start with that first, October, but we have Ember, which gives you 2 weeks more. And we have realized that our entry eligibility criteria has been very stringent, and we've lessened it a little bit by now allowing any business which is owned by women. Let's say 2 or 3 women are part of that business, and the applicant has 1/3 or more. She can submit an application. She has to be either a Sri Lankan or a SAK. There is also a provision for you to have 1/3 ownership, and in management, if you have significant involvement of females, you easily. Again, it could be either Sri Lankan or SAK women. So as an example, if you're like board members, chairman, chairperson, directors, CEOs, MD is a woman, then that eligibility. Another thing that we found out we have different categories, which I'll talk about in a little bit more. We realized that in the earlier categories, the small entrepreneurs are talking to us and informing us that they don't have proper audited accounts available to be shared. So we have lessened that criteria a little bit for those 3 categories: startup, micro, and small. They can submit financial statements which have been certified by an accountant. So that will allow them the eligibility. So as a business, it could be a sole proprietorship, partnership, or a limited liability company. And as I mentioned earlier, our original criteria was 51% ownership by a woman, Sri Lankan or SAK. We have extended it a little bit more to make it easier for more females to participate. Right now, I will talk about the categories that we have. And categories are there we are not specifying the revenue. It can be any new business that has been started within the last 5 years. Because we all know during COVID, there were lots of startups, and we are now giving them an opportunity to actually showcase their business as well as legitimize and move on to become bigger businesses. Then the micro category has an annual turnover less than 5 million per annum. Small turnover between like slightly over 5 to up to 50 million. Medium will be 51 to 250 million. Large, 250 million above. And the SAK category equivalent classifications are converted into US dollars. Right. Anuji spoke about the revamp process. So we actually have made this into something that will help you visualize where you want your business to be. And in that, taking that into account, we we moved away from our traditional application procedure, which was focusing mainly on finance and governance. We have now given you like an opportunity to share your story under this category. We will describe that. So the application process has 3 steps. There is a my story, there is finance and governance, obviously. And the final thing, the final nominations will go through in 21-22, which means April 2021 to March 2022, 3 to 5 years. Okay, right. So now I'm going to describe what entails the My Story. It has 6 elements, and each of those elements need to be elaborated with a maximum of like 200 words. Okay, so you write your story under each of these subsections up to a maximum of 200 words. And the marks that you're going to get is also mentioned there. The first point is it a purpose-driven business? What is the purpose of existence for your business? Why did you get into this business? So that's something like, now don't follow these and just write answers to these as questions. We want you to think of these segments and write your story around it. For each of those, you need to write your own story around these for these to be the content. What need state is being addressed and how? What brand positioning was done and who was your target audience? Now, for especially a business to be successful, you build brands. And for you to build a brand, you have to go through the process of identifying a needs state, your consumer, and providing a clear proposition which the others are not able to match. That is to do better and why so. So that is under the purpose-driven business. Next one is trying to touch on the entrepreneurial spirit. So how did you set about in your journey? What does success look like in your business? Okay, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, where do you want to? How do you ensure your teams are motivated and energized as you progress? How does a challenge affect your business? I mean, that obviously all of you will be able to kind of speak very effectively because you survived COVID, and COVID was a challenge that none of us really were ready for. Focus on innovation. These business forward plans have to have new things happening. What is the next new thing that you will undertake? What happened with the last one? How is creativity nurtured in your organization? How are new ideas incubated? And what research supports you? So don't get intimidated by the questions, but start thinking of this as if you're going to write a story about that area. The reason why we included all these is to actually get you thinking as well. Whether you win or not is not the end of the day, end of the story. You will actually create a valuable plan for your business. Some of you may be already here. You may have thought this through, but those of us who have not done that, this is a time to kind of sit back and really start. How do you create value for you and your team? So this is it is about the value that it creates. How do you create value for the shareholders to make them grow and to retain? And what holds you back? Try to talk about those as well. Whilst you're creating value for your business, for long, anything holding you back as well. Then impact currently local market, local or global. Obviously, majority of you are currently in the local market, but the future is we really need to reach, and that is in the local market, what kind of penetration and volume are we talking have to get here. And the strategic directions, where do you want your business to be in the future? So you can talk about your 2 years, 5 years, 10 years plan, and what else will happen. Do you have a clear identification of what your plan is? So basically, my story is a qualitative input. We're not asking for numbers, and there are like a little bit of numbers that we've requested, but it is from your heart. Just pour it out, 200 words for each segment. Just send us. Next segment is strictly finance and governance. That is 4 segments. Finance value creation, we're talking about sales growth year on year for the 5 years or as applicable, because some of you may not have data for that long period, but that's fine. But give us as much as you can, and wait minimum 2 years, maximum 5. Your P&L for minimum 2 years. If there is shareholding applicable, what kind of equity are we talking about, and your headcount people. And on governance, what is the structure that you have, and what is your board or equivalent mechanism, and how often do you have reviews, periodic meetings, and things like that to specify that. Then on skill development, on your employees, we would like to know your gender split and the age and qualifications, annual cost per employee, and the investment that you make on development. Expansion, if you have set down strategic growth plans and export potential again. So for medium and large businesses, we want audited financial statements. Micro, small, and startup, certified financial statements are adequate. So primary selection will be based on the first 2 segments. We will shortlist them, bring down to a nominations level, and then the nominees will be facing a final interview with a panel. And at that panel, what we are mainly looking at is how do you present yourself? How can you just come there and tell us your story? So they need to have these 3 segments covered. Entrepreneurial spirit, you have to basically have your summarized version of your story there to share with the judges. Then we will also look at your personality and personal brand, because at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur, you need to be able to present yourself, go out there and talk about it, and believed by the people who are listening to you. And we want to see how fast you can think on your feet. So that will entail the interview part of it. Right. So the applications are available at the chamber, the Women's Chamber. You can contact us. Also on our website. Our website is www.wcicsl.lk. You need to enter the website and go to the events page, or applications in all 3 languages are available for downloading. You need to download it and fill it, or contact us on email, WhatsApp, or any other form. We can even send you an application, or you can even contact the team here. We will make arrangements for you to get the application. Now for application submissions, there is a small application fee for each of the categories, and chamber members, WCIC members, have a slight benefit over the non-members. Okay, let us explain about how the whole selection process is going to happen. Firstly, we are expecting in provinces, there will be a regional winner. One regional winner for each province. They are, whether they are a winner or just a submission from there, they all go into the other awards as well. They will be considered for them as well. Next, we explain what the categories were depending on your revenue. So there will be judging based on each of these categories. And each category has a gold, silver, and a bronze award. And each of those have identified markings for the classification. So you actually have a cutoff, and each of these. Then the special awards of the year. So we will have a best of the SAARC region from the SAARC applicants. Then the most outstanding export-oriented entrepreneur, most positively abled woman entrepreneur of the year. Here we are talking about somebody who has got into business and made success, who has some form of a disability. Outstanding startup of the year, young woman entrepreneur of the year, and the climax is the woman entrepreneur of the year 2022. Of the chamber, including our email address and the contact numbers.
The entry criteria, as well as the application process of the Prathibhabhisheka Awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that you have all of the essential information on the competition, I'm sure you are asking yourself, what does it take to actually win the coveted award? And what does a profile of a potential achiever look like? Well, the good news is we do have with us this evening a past winner of the competition joining us on this webinar, and she's here to share with us her success story in the hope that it will inspire you too. So ladies and gentlemen, let's now welcome our past winner on screen. She is the founder and managing director of Salon Nayana. Let's welcome Nayana.
Thank you. Good evening, Iboan. I will talk both in Sinhalese and English, hopefully. Yes, I am a past winner. In 2008, I won the Women Entrepreneur of the Year Award, as well as the Gold Award for the large category. So I would really like to address all of you as an entrepreneur. So this is a very good platform to recognize the women entrepreneurs. We have so many of them of different categories. So that's why WCIC along with DFCC Aloka has prepared this program. Don't think very heavily about it. Don't get scared about it, because I think at the end of the day, what will really matter is your entrepreneurship, the quality. Vyavasayaka kantavak vime hakiyawa. How well can you do that? My story will definitely be that. So please write your story. Lot of us start business for many reasons, sometimes for family reasons, sometimes for financial reasons, sometimes simply because you like be an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what it is. So write your story very genuinely, very simply. I remember much later, I was quite surprised to win this award. I didn't think I would win it, but when I happened to meet some of the judges. I didn't know who the judges were, but when I happened to meet them, they said most of the time they were හැකියාව ඒවට පසුබෑමක් නැතුව ඉදිරිපත් වීම ඒ වගේ ව්‍යවසාය award එක මට ලැබුණේ. At the same time, we have found this time that a lot of people don't keep their have to have your accounts very clearly and properly. When we start business, most of us, we start with nothing, with maybe your brother's help or දුෂ්කම් තියෙන ගොඩාක් කාන්තාවන් මේ රටේ ඉන්න බව අපි හොඳටම දන්නවා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ආලෝකා ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක හරහා හැමෝටම මේ පණිවිඩය යයි කියලා. ඩිමාන්ඩ් එක වැඩි නිසා අපි කාලයක් එක්ස්ටෙන්ඩ් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි 30 වෙනිදාට ඇප්ලිකේෂන්ස් වහන්න හිටියේ. නමුත් 15 දක්වා ඒක දික් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපිට ඕනම සහයෝගයක් ඕගොල්ලන්ට ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. භාෂා තුනෙන් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. කිසිම භාෂා ભેදයක් නැහැ මේ ව්‍යවසාය කියන්න තෝරනකොට. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා ඒ සුදුසුකම් ඕගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන නිසා ඒවට හරියට ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න කියලා තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. We are more than happy to help you. Tusita has very clearly explained to you that you can contact us through email or WhatsApp or whatever, telephone or whatever that is convenient. Application එක පැටලෙයි කියලා බය වෙන්න එපා. ඉල්ලලා තියෙන විස්තර අවශ්‍යයි, අත්‍යවශ්‍යයි. නමුත් ඒවා බොහොම සුළු විදියට හිතලා ඒ ගැන කියන්නේ සමාන විදියට හිතලා ඒවා පුරවන්න ලේසි, බය වෙන්න හේතුවක් නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ සියලු දෙනාම මේ හැකියාවල් තියන අය මේකට ඉදිරිපත් වෙයි කියලා. මේ ඇප්ලිකේෂන් ලබා දෙලා මොකද මට කියන්න පුළුවනි හැකියාව පටන් ගත්තේ මගේ බිස්නස් එක පටන් ගත්තේ මගේ ආසාවට ඒක දවසින් දවස දියුණු වුණා. නමුත් මේ අවෝඩ් එක ලැබුණාට පස්සේ ලැබුණ උද්දේශක තෘප්තිය සහ සන්තෝෂ කියන්නම කරන්න බෑ. ඒ වගේම මගේ වෘත්තියට ඒක කොච්චර දුරට උදව් වුණාද කියන එකත් මට ගාක් ආඩම්බරෙන් කියන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් ඕනම තැනක ගියාම ලෝකේ වෙන තැනකට ගියාමත් ලංකාව පිටත් කාන්තා විවාහක ට්‍රෝෆි එකක් අවෝඩ් එකක් ලැබුණා කිව්වහම ඒක අපිට ලොකු දෙයක්. අනිත් එක මේක ජාතික මට්ටමින් කෙරෙන දෙයක්. ඉතින් ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් නම් මේකට හරි විදිහට ඇප්ලිකේෂන් එක දාලා ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න. ඒක ලොකු දෙයක්. අපි දිගටම ඔයගලන්ට සහාය දෙනවා මේ ඇප්ලිකේෂන්ස් පුරවන්න. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් අපිට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන හැමෝටම Tamanගේ කුමන රැකියාව හෝ වේවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉදිරිපත් වෙය කියලා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
Thank you very much, Nayana, for sharing with us your experience as a past winner of the competition. And I'm sure all of our participants watching today find great encouragement and strength in the words of advice that Nayana has imparted to us this evening. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to hear from a pioneering woman leader who is currently director at DFCC Bank and is also senior partner, Capital City Law, Shamali Gunawardena. Allow me to introduce her to you. Miss Shamali was the first in her family to take up law, and today she owns her own law firm, Capital City Law. Over the decades of her illustrious career, which includes working at the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance, she has firmly held the belief that gender need not be an obstacle to your success. She believes that it's both men and women who face obstacles, but if you face these challenges in the right spirit, this right attitude will take you very far indeed. So now let's learn more from the experience and expertise of this very inspiring woman leader. Ladies and gentlemen, to now take us through a motivational knowledge sharing session this evening, let's welcome to our screen Director at DFCC Bank, Shamali Gunawardana.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving this opportunity to me to speak to you all. So why I am here today, obviously, if I understand right, is to try and motivate you and to inculcate in your minds that being a woman is not at all a barrier if you want to reach the top. Like Mrs. Karunarathan told, I think you need to have aspirations and plans of becoming ABC. My experience is if you do well your work and if you're dedicated, with no effort, reach there. People recognize you, you know. What I feel is whether you're a man or a woman down the line in your career or family life or anything, you're bound to come across obstacles, ups and downs, little, or, you know, that also depends on how seriously you permit such obstacles to affect you, but that is life. So if you are determined to overcome, if you stay with a positive attitude, and if you enjoy what you're doing, you know, I think you have to be passionate about your career or whatever you're doing. You know, you may be at the top or midway through or at the lower levels, but if you're dedicated towards your work and polite, and if you're a team leader or a team spirit, team player, if you are able to balance your time, your family and your workplace and everything, I think it's not an effort. What I have to say is I have been, I think, fortunate. I suppose my house was never an obstacle to me. My seniors were never an obstacle. I think you have to have a little bit of luck also sometimes, but most of the time, whatever the circumstances may be, if you are good and if you're dedicated, you reach there. So what I want to tell all of you is be strong. I think women, as a matter of principle, I think they say God has created them more resilient. So I think it is true, because to bring up kids and to be patient and tolerant, that's another art. I think it's far more complex than office work. So if you can manage that, you can certainly manage your office work, and never take it as a, take it as a challenge, or start enjoying. I always tell my daughter when she comes and tells, Mom, it's difficult and so on, I tell most difficult things you have to start enjoying in life. Then it's a passion that drives you. So my career not so much at the central bank, because I was there when I was a younger officer, but at the Ministry of Finance, it was very challenging. You have limited resources, you have to fight against time, it's firefighting all the while. So must always remain level-headed, must always be in good spirits. And multitasking, I think, is essential when you're a woman. You should be able to leave something while being methodical, attend to something else, and probably come and start from where you stop the other thing, So these are things that you have to inculcate to yourself and learn over life. But I'm not secluding myself. I saw very many seniors who were women who worked with me and who were quite successful, I should say, in many spheres. So I got through my master's. I was doing 2 jobs, very challenging jobs. And I used to study till about 3 o'clock in the morning, but I was determined, Now I started within 1 year, I need to finish it. Well, let me somehow do it. Language barrier, I know, again, as touched by the other speakers, is sometimes a barrier to you. But I think now in nowadays spirit, we are more fortunate than before. with computers and online lessons and various other methodologies been there. So try to overcome, stay positive, stay determined. Most of all, enjoy what you're doing. Be a positivist. Nobody can bring you down. So my message to you is, whether you're a man or a woman, we come across obstacles. Life, that is a way of life. But if you're able to manage, success is definitely there. So that's my message.
Thank you very much to Shamali Gunawardena for motivating our audience and also for highlighting to our participants that gender never needs to be a barrier to your success. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to move into our final segment for the evening, which is the Q&A session. And all of you in the audience now have the opportunity to clarify your queries and your doubts regarding the awards, because now you have the chance to address your questions to the representatives of the organizing committee. You may feel free to raise your hand and ask your question. And if you're wondering how you can raise your hand, well, you can click on the reactions button and select the raise your hand option. So we prefer you to raise your hand and then unmute yourself and ask your question directly. So I can encourage you to go ahead and do that right away. Raise your hand through the reactions tab. And let's make this an interactive and engaging segment together. So while we wait for your questions to arrive, I'd now like to take this opportunity to invite to the screen the representatives of the organizing committee. We have with us the chairperson of the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Anoji De Silva, joining us. We also have our awards co-chair, Tisita Kumara Kulasingham, joining us as well. So we welcome them on the screen. And I will now wait for your questions. I do see we have a question from Chanaka. So Chanaka, we will allow you to unmute yourself and ask your question right now. We'll get somebody from our team to help with unmuting you. Chanaka, could you unmute yourself, please, before you ask your question? Yes, hello. We can hear you.
Yeah, hello. Actually, I am a male, so I want to help that woman entrepreneurs. What are the kind of categories you are looking for? Like it is like a saloon or something like that. It can be applied that business also can apply, or something else you mean? I mean that some firm or something like that, or some.
I will clarify your question. Yes, you're basically asking us what are the categories and whether a salon can apply. Is that your question?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, Tisita, would you like to answer?
Talking about, salon, yes, any business that you have started as an entrepreneur can be a part of it, provided it's a woman-owned business.
Plus also to, sorry, my video is disabled, so I can't switch the video on. But so long as it's a registered business also. It has to also be a registered business, so you have to either be a sole proprietor, a partnership, or even a liability. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
It's some noise come that twice I can hear your voice.
Okay. Well, Chanaka, what Anuji was just saying is, yes, a salon can apply as long as it's a registered business.
Registered.
Yes.
Registered one. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I hope that answers your question, Chanaka.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Is there any other question from the audience? Once again, you can feel free to raise your hand. If you're shy, maybe we can also accept your questions. You can type it in the Q&A tab. We can take it from there as well. Well, I don't see any raised hands right now. And I'm guessing everything is quite clear to all of you. You've been listening very attentively to our presentations, and all about the entry criteria, how to apply. The entire process is quite clear. I do not see any of you to ask questions. Let me also highlight, you can ask your question in any language. So if you're more comfortable in Sinhala or Tamil, feel free to go ahead and address your question to our representatives from the organizing committee. I see Chanaka has raised his hand again. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, that where can I get the information from that for the competition? There's a website or DFCC website or some other different website.
Chanaka, go and search the Women's Chamber of Industry and Commerce.
Yeah.
So
your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear. It's like a noise come.
Okay.
Let me. Yeah. Okay, Chanaka, the website is www.wcicsl for Sri Lanka.lk.
Yeah.
When you go into the website, go to the events page. Events page will have the applications to be downloaded. And the details about the program will be on the entry page.
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chanaka. Is there anybody else who has questions, please? All right. I sense there are no more questions. Everything is quite clear. And like we said, all of the details are also available on WCICSL.lk. So remember, we have the closing deadline date, which is now extended to 15th of November. So we'd like to encourage you to apply, or your friends, your family to apply as well.
Okay. තව එක අවස්ථාවක් දෙන්නම් සිංහල භාෂාවෙන් හරි දෙමළ භාෂාවෙන් වුණත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයගලන්ට යොමු කරන්න පුළුවන්.
All right, so I sense we have no more questions. Everything is clear. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will now be wrapping up this webinar. And we do hope that this evening has been quite enlightening for all of you. And we've shed light on all of the vital information with regards to the upcoming competition. Once again, the entry kit can be downloaded from www.wcicsl.lk. Our closing deadline date for entries has been extended to 15th of November. So get going, ladies. It's your time to shine. So grab this opportunity and allow us to acknowledge you and applaud you for all of the fantastic work you do day in and day out. With that, we wish you all the very best, and we look forward to seeing you at the awards in January. Thank you very much for being with us today at this special webinar. And until next time, take care. We wish you a wonderful week ahead. Have a nice day.